So in 2015, Rick and Morty aired an episode called The Ricks Must Be Crazy. In it, Rick Sanchez created a tiny universe inside his car battery. He gives technology to the people inside, and they build cities. They have lives, they fall in love, and they have absolutely no idea that their entire existence is only there to power Rick's car. So Rick calls it a Microverse battery. Morty calls it a slavery with extra steps. But here's what most people don't know. Stargate actually did it first, and they played it completely straight. A self-contained region of subspace-time, a universe. And the ancients made it to basically power their coffee machines. So if you happen to be new here or just stumbled across my channel, welcome to Geek Nexus, where we dig into the sci-fi questions no one else is asking. So if you like this type of content, please hit the subscribe for more deep dives like this one. Alright, so part 1, what the show actually says about the ZPMs. So before we go any further, let's establish what Stargate Canon actually confirms, because this theory only works if we respect the facts completely. So according to Dr. Rodney McKay, in the very first episode of Stargate Atlantis, a ZPM is a device that serves as an enclosure for an artificially created pocket of subspace time. So it extracts vacuum energy from the pocket until it reaches maximum entropy, at which point the pocket collapses, leaving behind a useless shell. So let's break this down in simpler terms. So the ancients didn't just find a power battery, they created a tiny universe inside a crystal. They set up conditions where that universe would produce energy, and they drained it until it died. The key phrase here is vacuum energy. So in quantum physics, a vacuum isn't empty, it's full of activity. Particles appear and disappear constantly. This is called quantum foam. It's the same activity that existed in our universe moments after the Big Bang. The ancients created the same condition that started our universe. They just put a tap on it and basically drained it like a keg. Part 2, the Rick and Morty parallel. Okay, so this is going to be a kind of a back and forth scenario, so I hope I don't lose anybody anywhere. Anyway, let's compare Rick's Microverse to the ancient ZPM. So first up, Rick's Microverse is an artificially created pocket universe. The ancient ZPM is an artificially created pocket of subspace time. So in Rick's universe, inhabitants generate power through their activities. In the ZPM, quantum foam generates power through subatomic activity. Alright, so the inhabitants of Rick's Microverse don't know that they're in a battery. We don't know if anything actually lives in the ZPM because the ancients never checked if life actually evolved, as far as we know. Okay, next up, Rick and Morty is satire. It's supposed to be funny, but the philosophical question is real. If you create a universe for power, what responsibility do you have to whatever might live inside it? Rick briefly feels bad when he realizes the truth. The ancients, they never seem to consider this at all. Part 3, the time problem. So now we're getting to the truly meaty bits of the story. It sounds wrong, meaty bits. Anyway, the time problem. Okay, so in the episode Epiphany, the team discovers an ancient sanctuary where time moves much faster inside than outside. McKay calculates that the ratio is approximately 250 to 1, which means that 1 hour outside equals to 10 days inside. And this time dilation field was actually powered by a ZPM. So this proves that ZPMs can create and maintain time distortions effectively. So now consider the following. The ancients fled Atlantis 10,000 years ago. They left behind 3 ZPMs powering the city's shield. So those ZPMs sat there for 10,000 years of our time. But what if time inside those ZPMs actually moved faster? What if the time was 250 times faster inside? I said times a lot there. Anyway, that's 2.5 million years. If it was 10,000 times faster, that's 100 million years. And if it's 1.38 million times faster, that's 13.8 billion years. That last number is the age of our current universe, according to science. So a ZPM sitting on a shelf since the ancient left could have contained an entire cosmic evolution inside it. Big Bang, stars forming, planets cooling, life emerging, civilizations rising, all while the outside world counted 10,000 years. Part 4, the Asuran Smoking Gun. You know the replicators, right? So, there's one more piece of canon that makes this theory even darker, the Asurans. The Asurans were artificial life created by the ancients. They eventually broke away and built their own civilization. According to the episode Progeny, they were able to mass-produce zero-point modules as fast as the Atlanteans could. Think about what this means. The Asurans are artificial life. They understand how to create life. They had 10,000 years to improve on ancient technology, and they manufactured ZPMs by the dozens. Did they just copy the ancients' design, or did they improve it? What if the Asurans figured out that the ZPMs with life inside produced more energy? What if they designed pocket universes specifically to evolve civilizations, A universe full of living beings generate more quantum activity than an empty one. What if ZPMs aren't just batteries? What if they are farms? Think about it. A universe full of living beings generating more quantum activity than an empty one. The ancients might not have known that, but the Asurans, I'm sure they would have known. They were machines, right? Which means that they might not have viewed life on a moral platform like we would. They would have optimized. They would probably have engineered life inside those crystals. And if they did, what did they create? And what happened to it when the ZPMs died? Part 5, the ethical horror. So every time Atlantis raises its shields, it's drawing power from a ZPM. If our theory is correct, every time the shield flickers on, a civilization inside that crystal might be experiencing earthquakes, climate collapse, or worse. What happens when a ZPM reaches maximum entropy? According to Canon, the pocket collapses, leaving a useless shell. But think about what collapse actually means. In physics, when a system reaches maximum entropy, it means everything has equalized. Heat death, the end of all activity, the end of everything. The ancients called it depleted. But maybe depleted just means finished. Maybe that civilization reached its end state, extinction, transcendence, or simply running out of time. And when McKay throws that depleted ZPM in the trash, he's throwing away a dead universe. This fits perfectly with what we know about the ancients. They were brilliant but careless. They created the race and didn't stop them. They created the Asurans and abandoned them. They built technology that could destroy solar systems and left it lying around. In the episode Trinity, McKay tries to improve on ancient technology and nearly destroys the solar system. The ancients themselves had already killed an entire civilization with the same device. They were so advanced they forgot the most basic lesson. Just because you can create something doesn't mean you understand it completely. Part 6, the question the show never asks. So Stargate Atlantis ran for 5 seasons. They found dozens of ZPMs. They depleted them, they replaced them, and they never once asked, is anyone home? So the show established that pocket dimensions can have different time rates. It established that the ancients created artificial life. It established that the Asurans could manufacture ZPMs. All the pieces were there, but the characters, they never put it together. They treated ZPMs like D-cell batteries. Pop them in, drain them, throw them away. So here's the question I want to leave with you. When Rodney McKay plugs in a ZPM to power the Atlantis shield, is he just turning on the lights? Or is he committing genocide on a cosmic scale? Alright, so that's enough of that. So I'm closing off with this, right? The ancients created universes for power. They seeded galaxies with life across the universe. They should have known better than anyone that life finds a way. But they never checked, They just assumed. And now, thousands of years later, we use their technology without question. We drain their batteries, we discard their shells, and maybe, just maybe, somewhere inside those crystals, civilizations are born, live and die, completely unaware that their entire existence powers our lights. In 10,000 years, no one thought to listen.